know how I do.
However, Song of the Siren disjointed the fight and came back in favor of Fnatic.
And welcome back. This week edition of the D2L rolls on, our second Western Best of 3 of the day and our last Western Best of 3 of the day. SNA taking on Team Empire and Sneaky Nick's Assassins, fresh off a fantastic win over Navi US. And Navi US themselves, before that loss, fresh off a fantastic win against Team Tinkers. So our Western Division teams are already beginning to beat up on each other a little bit. And speaking of beat up, Trout, Team Empire kind of got beat up the last time we saw them in action as well.
Yeah, they definitely did. It was, if I remember correctly, they picked Doom both games against, oh, help me, who were they playing with? Was it actually Team, oh god,
Polar.
I forget.
It was Polar.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was Polar with FNG. And they picked Doom both games and didn't do anything with it. That just stuck out to me. So I hope they don't go down that route again, as they picked up, I guess, a page from Team Secret's book with Elder Titan and Tidehunter, who, by the way, I got to catch the end of it, just qualified for the Summit in a very convincing way. They were like 3-0 in a best of 5 against Cloud9. Like, just dominated them. Yeah, just crushed them.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, Secret did drop out of the D2L. You know, Sneaky Nick's Assassin actually did take their place, and an unfortunate situation, and but still very happy for them and happy to see them doing well, and look forward to having them on board for our next D2L event, which will probably take place in the spring. But for now, SNA looking to live up to that billing as well. Still wide open in the West so far as who's going to be able to find their way to Las Vegas. 2 teams from the East and the West will be joining us coming up that first week of January. So Empire wants to get back on the right side of 500, could really use a win here, and they're going very aggressive. You see an Elder Titan, Tidehunter, and then a TA to go with it with Avenge. That's a hero that just wants to go man fight off of big ultimates and off of the reduction that you're going to get from Elder Titan's natural order. On the other side, Sneaky Nick's Assassins, well, they're being a little bit more creative. We are beginning to see Zeus and Spirit Breaker picked up and played a bit more. 2 heroes that for the longest time were just completely out of the meta. But over the last week, I want to say you and I have seen both of these heroes drafted, what, 2 or 3 different times now?
Well, Zeus has been picked up quite a lot, actually, in the Eastern scene. Yeah. One of my personal all-time favorite heroes, Spirit Breaker, which I thought was going to be a breakout hero after the patch, wasn't picked up very much, but Sneaky Nick Assassins really likes it. And what they do, I think, is run it as a 4, and kind of like, as we saw, like a disrupting lane with Zeus. And they'll do it off lane. I've seen them do this before. It was actually banned out in the first phase, both games, by Navi US in the last series. The Spirit Breaker, that is. So I imagine Whitebeard will play the Spirit Breaker, Mike will play the Zeus, and it'll be similar to what we saw with the Batrider Legion Commander lane. Well, they just kind of disrupt, spam out, and kind of create a little bit of chaos in that lane. And they work well together. Like, they're very aggressive. You can have global potential between the charge, which is very fast across the map, and then the Zeus ultimate as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fighting early on, I do suspect. I mean, you don't draft a Spirit Breaker to play him as a traditional support. You're going to want to get him active. And, you know, with the Lycan pickup and the way we saw that they like to run TC on it, they like to just make a ton of space for TC with the other 4 heroes, and, you know, not even worry about trying to push towers or anything so much. Is just do okay in the laning phase, get your heroes together, then outmaneuver the opponent. And that's kind of where we saw Empire struggle against Polar. Polar just flat out diced them up, just cut the map into little pieces, and were able to segregate them away from each other and pick them off one by one. And yeah, now we've got a true man-fighting team with the Sven added in, and I want to see how they handle this Sven. Sven's a hero that, again, we're seeing played some, but you said you expected Spirit Breaker to be a breakout hero. I actually have been on the Sven train for a while. It wasn't that long ago, going back a year and a half maybe, when Sven was a top-tier pick in many situations, and part of that was the popularity of Magnus and the natural synergy between those 2 heroes. But he's so good now, and he actually has a lot more options in terms of ways he can help his team late because of the Scepter upgrade. The armor that comes from Warcry is ridiculous. I really like a Blink Sven build as well. I actually think that's really, really solid if you do manage to get yourself ahead. So there's just a whole lot of he's very dynamic in the way you want to approach him, and you can just farm him as a pure hard carry and get 6 slotted. So whatever your preference.
Yeah, I think the Blink build is my personal favorite as well. I think it's the best way to build around him because I'm in the boat where it's like if you want to build him as a super hard carry, I just feel like there's heroes that do it better and don't get kited as easily. For instance, like PA, which they actually banned out themselves. But Sven pickup here is very interesting to me. Like, I'm pretty sure they're going to go Zeus Spirit Breaker offlane because they've done this like the last 3 games they've had the heroes available. So if that's the case, where do they put the Sven? Do you want to put it mid against Templar Assassin? I don't think so. I think Templar Assassin would have her way with you in mid because you don't do dot damage. Your melee heroes are going to hit by the side blades a lot. So you have Lycan. Does that mean Sven support? The best thing for me, I would think, is Lycan mid with the Sven carrying as a 1 position with another support here last top that would effectively zone at a Tidehunter, something like that has spam that works well with Sven, if that's what they want to do. Like I don't think there's any other options, honestly. So something like Alina, Disruptor might not be bad. Embers, okay, it's a support Sven then. I don't know. We'll see.
You don't like support Sven? I dig it, man.
Not against a Tidehunter because they're going to have a double melee lane, and Tidehunter is just going to love that. I mean, Tidehunter is already good against Lycan because the Anchor Smash just owns the Wolf since it's physical damage. So we'll have to see if they can make it work. And a very interesting draft from Sneaky Nyx Assassins.
Yep, it will be Mike on the Spirit Breaker. Still watching to see who ends up on what. Brax will be on the Ember, so it's going to be a mid-Ember for sure. And yep, that's going to be Whitebeard on the Zeus. And the Sven picked up last. So, say what you will about it. We're going to see how it's going to work out as Fluff and Stuff takes on the support Sven right off the bat. And I do, and you know, it's the same thing. Like, support Sven is interesting to me, and I'd love to hear your more in-depth thoughts as we wait for the creeps to spawn. He's one of those heroes that, again, you know, I used this phrase before. It's, you know, forum theory crafting. You know, it's 3 in the morning and you're just like, oh, you just counter this with that and the other. And it's just like, oh, it's just that easy. Yeah, don't worry about the fact that that's probably 25 minutes of perfect play to have those items out at that time. You know, like that kind of a thing. It's kind of on paper. He makes a ton of sense. He's got fantastic buffs that he can give, especially if he does get a little bit of farm priority, maybe get a Scepter, but Warcry alone is worth the price of admission. Stormhammer is a fantastic early level nuke with a good AoE stun on it, and it can work very well in team fighting lineups. But, you know, the Blink Dagger certainly helps him get over the hump. What is it, do you think, that really makes him not as popular in this situation?
As a support Sven?
Yeah.
Just because you have a stun and you don't get levels fast, you're not going to get a blink relatively quickly, and you can't harass as well as most heroes. So I think it's probably the harassment thing that makes people turned off by it. I mean, I'm kind of turned off by it, to be honest. Now, they have Whitebeard actually playing the Zeus. They're roaming around here. Maybe they can try to do some kind of cheeky play in the bottom river. Oh, they're charging. If they can get this charge off with a Sven stun in time, this is going to be a dead Vengeful Spirit. I like the aggression coming out from Sneaky Nyx Assassin, and it will be a dead solo. So nicely done.
Yep, I think this is how you have to play it. And there you go. IX Mike takes it. It will be an off-lane Spirit Breaker. We'll see what they're going to do with the rest of them. Down at bottom, it's going to be a solo silent, at least for the moment. And now, check that. Now he's got Venge making his way out. Solo, of course, just died. And Always Want to Fly, going to be heading in that direction as well. Will be the off-lane Tidehunter going one-on-one against the Lycan and the Ember Spirit here in mid. But, yeah, I mean, if you we saw right there the kill potential, and I halfway wonder if it's really worth their time to even try to zone the tide out. Like, if you're going to go with a Lycan, it is, I mean, he's got Howl, and that's certainly going to help their damage output, even if they are both melee. But you kind of just have to be running at heroes, I think. Like, try to get a gank on the Scandal. Try to get a gank on one of these supports while they're in the jungle. As we can see, it's going to be very important that they spend a lot of time getting Always Wanna Fly adequately leveled with pulls. So he's going to be very active in the jungle. I think they're going to have their openings. Just a matter of if they can execute, because Zeus, again, a hero that struggles a ton if he gets under-leveled.
It's actually really good that Mike got the first blood, too, because I gave him boots, so he's going to have a little bit of an easier time. Pretty sure Empire knows that they placed a ward here, because they pinged it out when it came out. So they know that there's vision. They're just going to have to play accordingly. But here comes some possible aggression. I like the decision to actually have Zeus staying up top. I don't think you can afford to have just this double melee lane try to zone out a tide. It just will not work. So in that sense, you absolutely have to have Zeus top. Nice connecting pull by Fluff. And yeah, this is much better than what they wanted to do. So adaptation is real here from Nyx, as they wanted to do their dual lane off lane with Zeus Spearbreaker, but they just know they can't afford to have Tidehunter have a decent lane.
This does scare me, though. I mean, he's already got a decent lane. He's almost level 3 at 2 minutes in. He's going to be able to stand here and just, you know, take the creeps here. Yeah, walks forward, gets off the anchor smash, and eating up that XP. Whitebeard trying to zone him as best he can, but the cost of this for SNA just seems very, very high. Supports Finn, again, I want to see more of it before I make a value judgment on it in this patch. It's something I've always wanted to see more of and wanted to see run effectively. But I can tell you, a Zeus that's level 2 at like 3-4 minutes in and is very slow to 6 is not going to be all that useful.
Yeah, he does have his bolt here. Should maybe be trying to search for a possible ward in the area. One of the best things about Zeus as a support is that you get free counter wards at level 1. Really, really effective. Elder Titan's made his way up here, so to lend some assistance. I love his build, by the way. Kind of made popular by No Tail with the early level in the Echo Stomp. It just adds so much more utility to a hero that really needs it early on, I think.
Yeah. And you can treat it as a value point, too, if you want. You don't have to spend a whole lot of points onto it. Some do. But even if you just max the natural order after that, you're still going to be in pretty good shape.
Scandal is bossing around mid here. Like, melee heroes are so bad against Templar Assassin. Even a hero like Brax, or a hero like Ember Spirit, that can have some way to get rid of the refraction. The side blades are just so good. Like, he has to play so scared all the time. Look at the side blades. It just destroys him. I think you can actually kill him here.
Yeah, there's going to be an L.
2, 3, he's dead. Yeah, that is really questionable by Brax.
All around you, but it hides from the
well, up at top, we can see the lane has gotten a lot more complicated. Whitebeard, coming up on 4 minutes, is about to ding level 3. And they still have this ward here, by the way. Like you said, he could be trying to counter ward this by now. And he's going to, I mean, just look how much damage he's taking just from the Elder Titan after he throws out his Astral Spirit once. I am super concerned about Whitebeard. I'm super concerned about what they're going to be. Like, this Zeus is just going to start to feel like dead weight very soon.
So is the Sven. And, like, Spiritbreaker trying to find some kind of opening here, just sitting here behind mid. But TA is really good against Spiritbreaker because Spiritbreaker doesn't have any, like, multiple instances of damage. Like, he can reveal him through his meld, but you can't actually do damage to him. I guess you have the Flame Guard to deal with that, but boy, you're leaving a Viper here to solo, and that's going to be a fast mech if that's what he decides to go for, which I think he should.
It's 1-to-1, but I'm willing to bet. Yeah, efficiency-wise, Empire's already opened up a 1,500 gold gap, just in terms of what they're actually getting out of the lane phase. So, you know, and this puts them in that wonderful position, and they have to feel it. I mean, sometimes in the heat of the action, you know, it's hard to know just how far ahead you're getting or just how well things are going if it's quiet. But they have no doubt, and they don't have to change a damn thing. They can sit and do this as long as they want. It is completely on SNA to make a change, because as it stands right now, they're losing a ton of ground every minute that ticks by on this clock until they get a kill, until they somehow force the lanes to change. They're going to come out on Yoki. And that's definitely not a resolution, by the way. We're corrected on that.
Yeah, I feel pretty stupid about that, so my apologies also. As it's Scandal who's been the new player here for Empire instead of Resolution. And as we saw, is already doing good things in the mid lane, putting some damage, a lot of damage actually at that, onto Brax. And he is not level 6 yet, so he does not have a failsafe for a little while.
Scandal's just one of those players I love to watch. I've been watching him for a long time. There's going to be a gank on the Brax. And Searing Chains. Oh, there's that Echo Stomp coming into play. One more auto attack. Scandal's looking for him. TPs in the meantime are coming in. Unable to find him. Scandal actually juked him. And now Scandal's going to come back out. But that was just really nice play from Brax. He was in a bad position to get caught like that. Now there's going to be a charge on Always Want to Fly. He's very low. Fluff wants to get on him. Has enough mana for a Storm Hammer. Mike's going for it. Got to play manly. Doesn't matter. Fluff going to be stunned out by Solo. He's very low as well. Always Want to Fly is going to make it back, and suddenly Mike's in no man's land. We're going to see Fluff and Solo now going back and forth. Fluff's going to find Solo and catch him with one more. Unfortunately, he's going to feed a death in the meantime, and they may get Mike as well. Mike can charge if he has to, so he's just going to keep running for now. But it's 2-2. And I like this. I think, oh, he's going to go again. He's going to barrel over Scandal, gets behind the tower, gets the kill. And the stun is going to be there. Unfortunately, you know, I'm glad that this is what they need to do, but they're not getting good exchanges. Like, Scandal was around for 2 of those deaths now.
Yeah.
And he's already at enough of an advantage. He doesn't need any more help.
Yeah, that wasn't worth it at all. And that was actually a big blunder by Solo. After the Elder Titan stomp on the Ember Spirit in mid happened, Solo attacked him, and it actually freed him up from the sleep. And as a result, Scandal actually couldn't attack him anymore. So that would have been a very free kill if Solo just let Scandal initiate after the sleep instead of himself. But it's still okay. Like, very good exchanges happening in favor of Empire. And charge actually onto Silent. He's got 3 into his Corrosive, though. And he spots it out. So he could actually put a lot of aggression onto IX Mike. Maybe bait out a charge from him if he wants to.
Still watching Yoki in this top lane. 34 CS for this Tidehunter. Whitebeard's finally getting a little bit of attention for himself as TC has fallen back into the jungle. But yeah, this is not the best situation. You don't want to be taking your Lycan out of what should be a relatively free farming lane and send him into the jungle just because you're so far behind on other heroes. Scandal's going to be engaged on him mid. There's a Stormhammer that catches him. Brax doesn't have Searing Chains. There will be a charge onto him, and they just have to go. I love the way they're playing this nice stun from Solo, though. Caught Mike in the middle. There's that Echo Stomp, and now they turn it around. Mike tried to ulti, and that's actually one of the reasons that Spirit Breaker fell off so hard. We just saw it in practice there. There's going to be a Solo Ravage on the Whitebeard. Solo kill for Yoki. TC's going to come out, actually. And that's nice. That's actually well played. And he can't get close enough. He has Gush. Oh, couldn't get it off. Needed about another quarter second. He could have gushed. And TC reacting very quickly to come to the aid of his buddy. We are at 4-4. And another charge on the Scandal. As it's coming in, what I was going to say is the fact that his ulti, he was able to absorb damage and stuns and such in the middle of it. That's one of the ways that he was nerfed so hard and why he fell out of the competitive scene for so long.
Yeah, really nice rotation by TC. Unfortunately, the first Ravage is not really a whiff, but didn't really get anything with it. TC has a bottle, actually, as well on the Lycan, which I think is fine. I think bottle Lycan is good because you have low mana. You have a low mana pool, and you can utilize runes very effectively. Like, DD rune is really, really good on Lycan, synergized with the ulti. So, yeah, TC doing good things yet again. Has 68 CS. I know a lot of that is neutrals. But had to leave just because I said this. Like, Tide is so good against Lycan, especially in laning phase.
Well, especially once they send up the Elder Titan as well.
Dire's top tower is
There's just not a whole lot he was going to be able to do.
Silent's going to turn this, I think, pretty well. Or Bash.
Yep. Scandal, though, is there. There's the kill, and they're going to get Whitebeard behind this. Solo should be able to clean him up by himself. Echo Stomp off the mark. One more auto attack will do it. Oh! Actually used his charges at the last second. He could swap him. Oh, no, he actually gets denied. So Solo, not going to be happy coming away from that. Nonetheless, it's a 3-for-1 as they got the Spirit Breaker down, as well as the Sven and the Zeus. So these trades beginning to get more and more lopsided as time passes. We're beginning to see TC do a great job of zoning out Yoki, too, by the way. His damage output is high. He already has a Vlads and everything.
Yep, that was a really lucky bash by Mike. I think Viper easily lives there if he didn't get, like, I think he got 2 bashes after the charge and the ultimate, so charge coming up from the Spirit Breaker. He's going to cancel it. Brax is being pinged out up top, so yeah, they should know that there's some aggression onto Yoki, but I think he'll be fine. They're actually, no, they're going to go for this full out. They have any TP rotations? I think they can maybe turn this. 3 seconds on the Elder Titan. There's the TA, and they will back off.
Yep.
Or okay, no, never mind.
Yeah, remnanting away. In the meantime, though, this has freed up bottom lane for Silent and Solo to peck away at the tower. In mid, Brax is back on point and getting his farm. He has caught up marginally well. He's at 30. I mean, he's still way behind where he needs to be, but at least he's not completely starving. Bad news for them is Yoki's going to have himself a Blink Dagger very soon. He's already got 1,700 gold roughly on the way. There's going to be a glyph and a charge on the Silent. Fluff and Stuff's right there in front. We'll eat the Viper Strike. There's going to be a stun as soon as he connects, and the follow-up from Fluff. There's a nice swap from Solo. He's going to end up giving his body, but Silent will end up surviving. So nice play to prioritize who was going to survive and who wasn't. But, I mean, I like how committed to this style SNA happens to be. Because right now, they know they can't just be like, oh, we're behind, we're behind. And they actually have leveled the field. They're still behind, but they have leveled it off and kept it to 3,000 gold and actually gotten experience kind of going in their direction. But if they stop playing like this and decide to just try to farm some kind of goofy item on Mike or whatever else, they're going to fall immensely far behind. So well played from them, just being committed to their play style. Yeah,
they're keeping good pressure on the Viper before he gets mech, but he does have it now, and I think it's going to be way harder to do that in the future. I still think they have an innate problem. Like, the Lycan is farming well, but I feel like Ember Spirit's not going to have a place in this game, really. Like, he's ganking too much and not farming enough. So we'll see. Here comes a ward, actually, from Solo. Aggression from Brax onto... He needs to Ravage right now. Ravage right now. He's not going to get it. There he goes.
Yeah, he does. And that Kraken shell, though. He did Kraken that, I'm pretty sure. There's going to be a swap onto Mike. And behind that, an Earth Splitter actually cleans up Brax. So well shot there. And Solo about to make it 2. As 2 are down and always want to fly. Again, getting the Ember with that Earth Splitter. Was that a Kraken shell? I'm pretty sure it was, right?
Well, regardless, the mech actually came out from the Viper right below him. So it was perfect timing on the mech delivery. But I was wondering...
Oh, God.
Okay, yeah, Jesus.
Fluff just walked right into a melded TA and died. Like, that's just me two-shotted him, basically.
I was wondering why people weren't dying faster with Venge initiating with stuns, because Venge has level 1 stun.
Yep.
Haven't seen this for a long time. I know there's schools have thought about getting Wave of Terror over it and stuff, but I think generally Max Missile is like the best, but we'll see. I do love Wave of Terror, though. It's very good for D-pushing. Synergizes very well with Templar, and if they decide to go to Roshan, it'll die in an instant.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Speaking of TA, just about has her Yasha done. And went drums first, so going with a very well-rounded all-around build. There's going to be a charge onto Yoki that's canceled by Mike. TC, in the meantime, remains on top of the board in terms of CS, so they are not without their bright spots. However, they are losing. Again, this is just, they have to be constantly ganking and getting kills. Otherwise, every minute that goes by, they're going to be losing 200, 300, 400 overall net worth lead. Like, they're just getting further and further behind. So, expect the action to continue. They just need to get TC in the mix now.
Well, he is super farmed. Has a 125 CS. Action up top. Mike might blow up. He's taking a lot of damage.
We're going to see Always Want to Fly. Throws the Earth Splitter. That's going to catch TC. Scandal's still there and pecking away at him. No one down on either side. That fight broke out on either side of the tower. In the meantime, TA does get the deny. Yoki has a gush if he can get on top of him, and does. He will be able to rim that up to the high ground. And they're going to try to chase him down with the Astral Spirit, but he will be able to pull back to his own tier 1. 10-7. Blink Dagger done on Tide now. 14-minute Blink Arcanes. Not too shabby. And again, SNA is just hanging around. The problem is, I'm like you. I don't really see them transitioning at all.
Yeah, this support Sven's not really going to get any items. He's buying lots of wards. He's playing it as a 5, so more of the farm is going to the Zeus, which is okay, but I mean, this comes to like, why have a Sven when you could have something that functions a little bit better without farm, I think. I think Sven really does need core items to do anything. Like, he really needs a blink. There's a charge bottom. We'll see, though. These heroes don't take down refraction very easily, but he doesn't have refraction for 5 seconds.
Nope, he backed off of it. He does have dust, that's worth mentioning. So he will be able to gank Scandal with some help. I'll tell you, you know, we got to see a nice return of the Lifestealer game. You know, every now and then you see him picked. And I love Lifestealer Spirit Breaker, man. I think that is so good and so fun. And it's especially good against heroes that have Invis Escapes or whatever, like even a Nature's Prophet. Like if he decides to go Shadow Blade or something goofy, and you just infest in and buy dust on the Spirit Breaker, And if you, as soon as he shows his face in lane, he's dead, basically.
Pretty fun combo indeed. Vengeful Spirit warding up. Yeah, it was spotted. TC's actually going to come around here and do some damage. But if Solo stuns and walks towards his team, he should be fine. There is a Ravage, but I can't quite catch up to him. Oh, or Brax is in a precarious spot.
Brax has been in a precarious spot since the game began, basically. Here comes Mike. Wants to charge and gets it on to Solo. The rest of Empire's on the high ground. They have a Ravage if they... Oh, God. Always Wanna Fly has been on point with his Earth Splitters. He has... That's like, what, the third kill he's gotten with it, I think? Yeah, he's 4-1, so he's having a great game. Scandal going to eat a Stormhammer in the face, but Refraction, pretty good ability. There's going to be another good ability in the Ravage, and Brax is dead at the back of it. And I believe that's going to be the moment when the Camel's back broke. As they were hanging in for a little while there. But the gold lead just now too much, and yeah, that's a skyrocket. That is an absolute cliff face in the gold and experience after that.
Yeah, I don't think this draft has worked out at all for Nyx, and I don't even think it was the Spear Breaker. I don't even think it was the Zeus. I think it was the combination of support Sven and Ember Spirit. Like, I don't know. As Ember Spirit's walking around with the glove of face, man. Like, what's he gonna do with this build of Midas? Because treads are pretty awful on Ember Spirit. And if he had wanted treads, he would have built them already, so.
He's walking around with a glove of face.
He really is. Glove of face, poor man's. I mean, maybe Maelstrom. That's the item. Maelstrom. Ground boots Maelstrom for the Ember Spirit.
Oh, Mike. He's YOLO'd it. 3-5. TC is 1-0-0. He is farmed as hell, but Lycan needs help to really shine despite his farm. Fluff and Stuff sitting on Tranks and a magic wand. And level 8. And doing his D-warding, doing what he needs to do. But yeah, I don't think the support Sven has a hell of a long future in this game.
Top tower is
especially, like I said, especially against a Tide. If this was like a ranged offlane, like we saw Navi US do the Jakiro offlane, completely different scenario. But the fact that it's a Tide Hunter who is so good against melee heroes in particular, like you can't zone him out effectively. They had to have the Zeus up there, and it didn't even do that much with him, to be honest, because Elder Titan was rotating nicely up top when he needed to. And there's a Yule's up for the Elder Titan.
It's been a great game for Always Wanna Fly for sure. 4-0 for Scandal, 4-1 for Always Wanna Fly. So a collective 8-1 there. And they've been the real difference makers. And you know that Echo Stomp really has come into play in a big way. That first early point we saw put to use a couple of times. TC being chased away by Yoki and Silent. Up at top, Always Wanna Fly was there to help push that tower. So defending towers, pushing towers, Solo. Gonna get eyes on someone. There's gonna be a charge. Solo's gonna be the target. Ulti connects, and here comes the Stormhammer afterwards. So they do secure a kill and show how that combo can work. And Always Wanna Fly through another Earth Splitter. No catch that time. Yule's put to use very early. Brax needs something going, so he's going to try to track down Always Wanna Fly. And he's going to end up dead. So in the right situations, they still can net kills relatively easily. Just the right situation doesn't come around all that often.
It is a Midas on the Ember Spirit. I don't think I've ever seen this personally in the competitive play. But he wants to get that catch-up experience. He's back up to level 11. Okay, not bad, but compared to Scandal, who's level 14 without a Midas. So this is just all farm and all going to good items that, you know, have damage and whatnot. In a much better position, and actually almost has a BKB.
He's got a Yasha. Like you said, he'll have a BKB shortly. And then, if I know Scandal, it'll be a Desolator afterwards. And he will literally be one-shotting some of these heroes.
Yep, probably the Zeus. Necro 3 up on the way for TC, so not terrible for their team. Necro 3 is really good, especially in this game, because Elder Titan's reliant on his mana, although, since he did just buy a Yule's, he has a decent mana pool under his belt.
Roshan looks to be the next target, perhaps. Yeah, it will be. And this Roche is already dropping fast. Minus armor with Scandal's Meld and Solo's Wave of Terror, which has been maxed, by the way. Just look how quick this is going.
And I imagine they give this to... I think Silent actually would probably be better to have it. Oh, they give it to Scandal, actually. Yeah, well, if I'm Nyx, I'm definitely wanting to target Silent, like
Radiant's
100%.
top tower is under attack.
I don't know if killing Tidehunter is actually going to be something that you can do with his Kraken Shell to just take stuns off, so...
Yep.
I'm wanting to
I don't
focus
think
the
it's an
Viper.
option.
Yeah.
Well, the issue, I think, more than anything, is that unless they just split push really well, and their team isn't built to split push, it's built to gank,
Radiant's top
you
tower
can't
is
keep
under attack.
Empire from grouping as 5 before long. And when they group as 5 and just run in a lane, if you're not
Radiant's
able to split
courier
push, and
has-
that's a free courier kill for Scandal. Pretty sure. It was like he went over and killed and got the kill, or didn't get the kill, but the courier was standing right there. Let me double check. Where you at, courier?
It was actually
Oh, it was Radiant.
Yeah, Radiant Jungle where TC got it. He was running away and actually was like, oh, courier. Killed the courier and then just ran away. Yep.
And Viper secures a kill onto the Zeus in the meantime. In mid. And the map's still kind of spread out. TC's doing his best
Radiant's
job
top
just to
tower is under attack.
keep them spread, but now they're hooked up here in mid. Brax can't do anything. He does have a Claymore up, so at least making some progress towards a bigger item.
This
He
lineup
really did
is
always win fight.
this lineup is pretty bad at tower defense too. There's the pause coming out. Like their only tower defense hero is at this stage of the game, Zeus. That's it. Sven is awful at tower defense. Spirit Breaker is awful. Ember's okay when he gets a ton of items, but I mean, look, he's sitting on what? Still just Midas? Midas Claymore.
Well, yep. All right. Tier 3.
Oh, look at that slight. It did like 20 damage.
And yeah, I don't know what they do here.
Dire's structures are fortified.
I wonder, did the courier actually have Scandal's BKB on it?
I think it did, because it said net worth like...
Oh, it just had a medallion.
Okay, yeah. It's like 1,000 something.
You can check if you click on any hero on Empire, then hit whatever your courier binding
I've
key is.
tried that and it doesn't work for me, so I don't know.
What? That's odd. Anyway, there's going to be a 2-man Stormhammer behind that. Whitebeard able to, well, yeah. Scandal actually got stunned out of that. And now the ulti. There's a good Ravage, though, that caught Mike and Brax. Scandal actually survives through this through some miracle. He's walking around with no HP. And he's going to be earned back up. So, mega kill streak for him. And even missed with the Searing Chains. Scandal does have the Aegis, so he's not going to freak out. But he's going to be able to pull back, go grab a BKB. They actually didn't get the melee racks, just the ranged. He'll get his BKB sometime in the near future. And TC did, by the way, get the tier 3 top, so doing his job as best he can. But he'll get his BKB, and he will not be long from Modesto.
Yep, TC is in full rat mode. They can't fight them in fights at all, especially when Ravage is up. Even when it's not up, I don't think they could fight. And like I said, since their tower defense is really bad, or base defense is really bad, they got to look for other ways to make openings, but all they need is any kind of hero to defend against that kind of split pushing, and they'll be fine. They're all pretty tanky. I don't think that TC can actually really give anybody. Maybe the Venge, but even then, Venge has a stun. So
Always Wanna Fly just got swagged out. Did you see that? Mike was charging him. He threw his Astral Spirit right here and timed the Echo Stomp to stomp him out of the charge.
what a player.
Yep. Swagged. And Mike gets stomped again. Let's see. Ravage back up in 60 seconds. He's not far from Refresher. Very expensive recipe, but closing in on it now. Silent in the meantime, just farming like hell with that casual Yasha. Has a Scepter built. Has a gold for it anyway. Already has his point booster and can finish it right now if he wants to. And don't see why he wouldn't. One good fight, and they could probably win this game.
Yep. So BKB still Aegis. I actually didn't see how much time it has left on it, but yeah, they can just rush this. They have not a care in the world.
They're going to run at the mid-racks. Tier 1 does drop. Brax. Hey, half a Battle Fury.
Yay.
Making some progress. Yeah, he's a little closer now, actually. Either way, the ranged rack's down for sure. There is no tier 2 bottom, so they can rotate from there. There's a tier 2 top. And yep, they're going to go ahead and bounce. 2 bot. Silent doesn't care to be the one to tank the tower. And let's see how Nyx wants to go about this. Could be your GG moment. God, just look how hard Viper's hitting Brax. And Brax is forced back. Now Mike's going to go in. Solo's brought down quick. Scandal still has his Aegis. There's going to be an Earth Splitter that caught one that was just fluffing stuff. Aegis is popped before it expires. Now a Ravage catches 3. Fluff being foremost among them. He's dead to an Anchor Smash. Scandal pops back up. Still has his BKB. And actually is just going to die without using it. Now they're going to be able to chase out Silent. So, they managed to defend the base. And TC, in the meantime, helping to clean house a bit. And I'm a little shocked that that went as well as it did. Why didn't Scandal BKB?
No clue. No clue. And Yoki, you're probably dead.
Anchor Smash. Nope. Brax comes in. Has a little bit more damage now. About 120, give or take. And does get the kill, but suddenly there's a new breath of life in SNA.
That was without a BKB for TC2, which is being delivered in full on the courier. I don't know. That was just like a really bad fight for them. I don't even know if they, like, how much damage Viper was taking and what from. But he dropped really fast. Had to retreat at the very start of the fight. And yeah, the TA not casting BKB right there. I don't think he wanted to because it was like a Lycan ulti, but the damage that you get from the extra mana burn is really good, and he took way too much from it. So you need to cast that spell or that button, man.
Gold for me.
Well, suddenly the Ember Spirit has a Battle Fury, and Zeus has a Scepter. Not to say that that means happy days are here again, because Yoki does have a refresher of his own. But TC is still monstrously farmed. He's even further ahead than Scandal. It's the fall off from there that really hurts. But I mean, they actually defended that really well. Like I'm playing it over in my head, and they just flat. I mean, Scandal not BKBing is weird, but aside from that, they just outplayed him.
Zeus does so much damage. I mean, it's easy to forget that. Actually, Solo's getting charged here. I wonder if they keep going. There is no tier 2. He swapped himself to cancel it. Nicely played by Solo. Can he still get the ulti off? He can, but IX Mike might bite the dust.
Yep. Scandal shows up. The ulti did go off, though. And that's a free one. It was really well played by Solo. That's the best thing he could have done to try and buy himself time. Ty goes in, gets a gush on a Brax. Brax will be able to remnant soon. Nah, not even going to need it. Just going to scurry away. But I'm really just still kind of in shock and awe that SNA has managed to extend this game, and not just extend it. Someone has breathed new life into them. They are actually playing aggressive. They're trying to make ganks happen. They're showing their face on the map a lot more. Like, they're just playing much more steadily now.
Sven has a Mask of Madness, so he can pump out some damage. Almost got a BKB, or at least that's what he's going for. Viper Strike on Brax. He'll go back to base, and Midas is, believe it or not, actually paying off for him because they've been able to hold.
See what TC's the next item will be. It's this lineup. I wouldn't mind a Basher. Just being able to lock down the TA order in place. Fluff going to be caught in the jungle by Empire in the meantime. Magic Missile to follow the Echo Stomp. And wow. All right. He's going to should be able to blink and get this kill. The Urn should secure the kill. Nope. Yeah, it does actually. Yoki just staying in range to make sure he got the bonus gold and XP.
Scandal going to go for what looks like an Assault Cuirass, which is tons of negative armor. Roche is up now as it's respawn. Yeah. Oh, he has the full Assault Cuirass. Wow, that's really good for him. So when he doesn't have Refraction up, trying to cut through the armor is going to be much more difficult for TC, and also this Sven. So I like that pickup. Oh, here we go. I heard an ulti from Mike, but it was canceled or something.
Yep, he wasn't even charging. There's going to be Gush, and he's going to turn around and do something. He's going to be swapped by Solo, and he dies for free. And they have creeps to push mid if they want. They're going to go, yeah, Roshan's back up, and they know it because of the TA side trap, so they're going to go take Roshan and then push mid.
Viper's TPing bottom. Just figures he doesn't need to be there for the Roche, at least initially. Puts a Viper Strike on Brax, and Brax probably can't get to respond to Roche on time because, my god, look how fast he's dying.
Medallion was picked up on Solo, that plus the Wave of Terror and the Gush armor reduction, as well as the Meld armor reduction, means Roche had no armor. He was actually falling apart in front of us. We're right at 30 minutes in. And look how close. Wow, this is the first time I've opened the goal graph in a while. Look how close SNA drew this. They actually took an experience lead for the first time in the game at about 25. But now Empire beginning to get their own stride back.
SNA knows something's up. And Whitebeard's actually having to TP back to the tier 2. Could see an engagement. There's not much vision here. Here we go.
Immediate BKBs on all three. We're going to see Solo trying to get out. In the meantime, we can see Mike charging, trying to get on the Tidehunter. We'll be able to isolate him out. And they're going to be able to hit him with the ulti. There's going to be the Ravage. He's going to turn and try to go for the kill on Mike. Not going to get it. And he's going to end up giving his body nonetheless. Fluff and Stuff in pursuit. Gets off the Stormhammer and secures the kill. What in the hell is happening, man? This is now 2 big fights in a row. That one away from the tier 3, where they just made it look easy. It wasn't even a problem.
What is Silent is actually putting damage up onto Whitebeard. Okay, I guess he will get the kill. I don't know what Silent was doing amidst all of that. Actually on a TC, but no stuns. They were like doing some aggressive play into the jungle, looking for kills, and Silent was solo bottom. At least they get some nice exchanges. Mike's gonna die here to always want to fly. But
KS kill secured. Boss.
I mean, they should fight around this Ravage is 5, not 1 or 2, and kind of trickle on throughout the fight. But
yeah, I'm just some curious things happening with Empire. Again, if they group as 5, like Nyx actually did look good there. But if they group as 5, and especially if they are like, if they're able to get any kind of, they've got no good vision up on their side of the map. There are 2 very defensive wards up from Nyx, but if they get some wards up, get some vision, and they're able to just blink Ravage 2 heroes, like it's a 1 fight, and it's probably a 1 game. And like you said, they're nickel and diming themselves out. They're just splitting up and not accomplishing a whole lot in the meantime, while Nyx has played this very, very close to even. Like it literally got almost to even again in terms of gold a few minutes ago, and it did get not just even, but in favor of SNA briefly in terms of experience. So they need to tighten up and finish it off.
Well, they don't have Ravage for another 50 seconds, but he does have Refresher. Again, he has to be a little bit wary though of his he has to ulti, refresh, or ulti, mana boots, refresh, mana boots, ulti, in that order. I don't think he'll have mana unless he does that, and he can't cast any other spells.
Viper Strike on the Brax are continuing to hold the line. They're going to probably slow siege this until they do have Tide Ravage available. Fluff is smoked along with IX Mike. They're trying to pull some Cloak and Dagger stuff. Get into a flanking position. They're all grouped up, save for the Tide. Tide still needs 8 seconds. They're right on top of him practically, and he will finally bring up the rear. Looks like they're ready to go. Charge on the Tide. There's going to be the ulti as well, and Earth Splitter thrown out. Are they going to get Yoki? Making a run for it. TC's right on him, and they do. And just like that, look at this. They are routing them. Their damage output is tremendous. Now they're going to turn it around as Fluff's going to end up dropping. Echo Stomp by some time, and always want to fly wisely. Doesn't follow up with damage. Still, the only hero they've brought down so far is Fluff's Finn, and IX Mike's going to be able to charge to safety. Brax has a Crystallis and is contributing something, but that's kind of the issue. They shot their wad there, and even though they won the fight, technically, they're going to lose the Rax.
I think Skid, I was thinking he should just man mode this Rax here, and he was hitting the melee one and then they back off, so that's not going to do anything for them. Man, these Tide Ravages, he have a refresher and he's not able to get either of them off. Maybe he needs to invest in honestly a Ghost Scepter, because when the BKBs come out from both TC or the Spirit Breaker, who does have his BKB by the way, then he can't really do anything. He can't force a Ravage because it's not going to hit anything.
Right.
So either needs a Force Staff, which he does not have, or a Ghost Scepter. But he needs one of them.
Yoki's really been having a rough game. He started out and got a lot out of the laning phase. I'm really impressed with the way that Whitebeard has bounced back. He seemed like he was just going to be under-leveled perpetually and just feel like dead weight. Well, honestly, he, IX Mike, and Fluff all have played really well at their roles. And it is a very thin lineup in terms of your options. Like, they had to play a certain way. And they've executed to the point that they have, again, I mean, just look at this. It is tough for a lineup like this that isn't just geared to go, you know, wipe heroes out. It's not gimmicky, really. Like, it just takes very good execution because they're all very good at what they do. And, you know, despite the fact that Scandal's been giant for a while, I mean, he's even more farmed than TC, and TC's barely been showing up in fights while Scandal's sitting at 5-1-5. He's got a Daedalus now, but I still think Empire wins this out at some point. But I'll tell you what, man, SNA is making them work hard. Doesn't help whenever Mike just gives him a nice bowl of feed, though.
60 seconds on the sideline. Should be more than enough time. I don't think there's too much more to read into it other than they just need to go fight. But they're TPing back. Okay, counter pushing from the support Sven is scaring him back, so that's a nice win for Nyx. I mean, they had an option. They had the opportunity with no Spirit Breaker, who's actually doing quite a lot in these fights. And oh, they're gonna get fluff though at least.
And double KO. Echo Stomp and Stormhammer both hitting at the same time. There's a swap from Solo. Yoki and Silent bringing up the rear to secure that kill. He's down for 48 seconds. Scandal in the meantime continuing to farm. He's got one more free and open slot right now. You think he goes Blink?
For Scandal?
Yeah.
Well, he's got that. I mean, I still think finish the Manta. It's going to be pretty good. You can dodge stuns. You can dodge. You can. This creates confusion. Like I like Manta.
Assault Cuirass done on TC, and he just continues to get large himself. They have to account for him. If they can blow TC up in one of these fights, they're going to win. And he does have buyback, actually. I was going to say, it seems like he's been running pretty close to the red in terms of buyback gold most of the time, but not playing it responsible.
Yeah, Manta's really good against heroes at single target DPS, like the Lycan. Like once you Manta, it's unless you immediately know which one's the real one, you kind of have to just back away because you can't afford to just spend like 2 or 3 seconds sifting through each illusion to find out which is the real one. That's a lot of wasted time. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it actually is. And those illusions pack a punch too with refraction damage beforehand. So yeah, I like Manta.
Smoke out from Empire. They're going to go headhunting. Top racks are undefended, and they have Scandal by himself shoving the lane. Looks like Nyx wants no part of it as they've spread out. They're going to have to come defend like now, though. Mike will be able to charge him whenever he pleases. He's actually going to TP him before he begins to charge. And this is where they need to make it work. Going to work now on the melee racks once again. Ember doing a little bit more damage now. And there's going to be the ulti. Mike's going to use the vision from that and go right on the Tide. Tide does get one Ravage off. This time he got Fluff. He did refresh. He's going to be able to do it again if they can get it off. Nice Earth Splitter, though. That caught Mike. Yoki's still hanging around. There's going to be a swap back on Mike in the meantime. Scandal just chopping wood. TC doing the same, though. However, he is going to end up dropping. Scandal just hitting way too hard. Buyback on TC. Yoki that time, he only got one that I saw for sure, and that was Fluff, but that's okay. That's all they needed to do. Like, that entire chain of initiation is so good that if you can just stop it even marginally, you can take a win, and that's what happened. Zeus uses his ult, gives vision, Mike can charge any target, and then they have to follow it with Fluff, and they have to be able to burst him down. That just didn't happen that time.
Yeah, it's about the vision, and it's also being able to cancel the blink of Tide. So when you charge in, and it's very obvious, he can just blink away, but with the ulti from Zeus, it makes it a little more difficult to actually get away. So
it was a 2 for 3, but a big win as they take their second set of racks now. Roche will be back up in 30 seconds, and only bottom lane remains viable for Nyx Assassins.
I bet Scandal got a bunch of gold there too. Yep, he could buy really anything he wants. I still think completing Manta is nice. The only reason he might not want to is that Yasha is just such a good standalone item. It's really good for the cost on a hero like TA that can benefit from the movement speed and just getting in proper position.
And we can see this is actually now the largest lead of the game for Empire. And like you were saying, a large part of that concentrated on the Scandal. He's got rapier money if he wants one. Don't know that he does. Well, everyone wants a rapier. Don't know that he'll buy one. Being a responsible adult and all that. Roche trying to be snuck by TC. There's an Earth Splitter that's going to be on the mark. Roche is still going to end up dropping. They're going to be able to catch him on the way out, perhaps, though. And Cheese is down on the ground. Here comes TC back out. He's under ulti form. They're going to try to engage, and they catch Scandal. There's the charge. Stop the Scandal BKBs. Now they're going to catch Mike from behind. That was a very nice stomp. And TC is still trapped. He doesn't have a TP. They have to come in and help him, or it's GG right here. Silent still going to work on the Mike. Mike does get the charge and the ulti on the Solo. Scandal now coming back out in the meantime. Looks like Mike was able to run away, still trying to run away, as they made just enough chaos to secure him time. And now Fluff going toe-to-toe with Silent. He's going to get the kill. He's got a lot of damage using God Strength, but Scandal there along with the help of Solo to help clean him up again. And TC lost his Aegis, may lose his life. If they can just catch him, there's going to be an Echo Stomp. Tide blinks in front of Whitebeard. There's a swap from Solo to bring him. No! Scandal, what happened? They definitely were going to get the Zeus. There we go. Finally able to track him down. He's down for the count as he did buy back. And looks like they're just going to charge the fountain.
Yeah, they could. I mean, Zeus does still good damage, and Ember Spirit's not doing too bad of damage either. Has a Daedalus on top of the crit, so kind of been farming slowly beneath our noses. But this is the last setup for Axe, and Scandal's all business here.
Bearbreaker coming back in, and still a lot of time on TC. Brax is going to be able to do what he can, I suppose, but Scandal, jeez. Crits Mike for a lot of health, however, he's down. Tide is Bob back. They get the tier 3, but they don't get the racks, and Always Wanna Fly is going to end up dead as well. Never give up, never surrender, the rallying cry of the sneaky Nyx Assassins. As this game continues to roll on, they get a big return on all of that. The Viper drop, they got the TA, and Always Wanna Fly on Elder Tide on the way out. Tide bought back to no avail, so a waste of gold there. And that's a difference of 6,000 gold change just in those heroes, as well as 8,000 XP going in favor of SNA.
Is it really? Huh.
Yep.
Well, I mean, their racks are exposed. They keep hitting the melee racks, and this is where hitting the range racks just seems to be a better situation for teams, because if they don't push it and actually commit to it and get it, then it's completely useless. Futile. But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of gold. Something was just bought, and it's an Eagle Song, so it's going to be a butterfly here for TA. I think he can actually afford to buy the full thing and still have buyback. So I think I like that. I was going to mention that as well. It's also a good item. Like I said, Yasha's very good standalone, but that Ravage onto IX Mike was completely unnecessary. Like, he was so dead, and that was with him having the Aegis too.
They've got Ravage up again. Got both of them, as a matter of fact. And looks like they're ready to hook up and push down bottom lane. And it's felt like this game should have been over a long time. I mean, now there's a butterfly up on TA, so would imagine Nyx's chances of holding this last butcher are slim to none. But I would have said that 20 minutes ago, too, and I would have been dead wrong. So Nyx, I mean, I think Nyx is playing well. Very well. The Daedalus makes number 2 for Brax. He has somehow become relevant against all odds. Running around like 12 minutes with literally, what, brown boots and a glove face.
Yep.
Invisibility.
Double Daedalus. He still hasn't upgraded his boots. It's hilarious.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
Running around in Poe-Man shoes.
Scandal.
Oh, wow.
He's probably dead. Nice swap.
Oh, what a swap. There's going to be the Ravage to follow it. And Yoki not going to be able to get off the second one. He's going to end up dead, but now the BKBs are down. TC still going to work. Silence pecking away. If Mike does manage to get the kill, now he's on Whitebeard. He's going to secure that kill in the trees for sure. In the meantime, TC got hit by a stomp. And actually, yeah, Viper ends up killing one of the Necro Creeps. And they're still chasing down TC. Fluff is there, throws out the Stormhammer. Echo Stomp with the magic missile. That's going to be him down. Again, triple kill. Brax manages to secure a wicked 6 streak for himself, though. Ends up being 3 for 3, all told. And Silent throws off another Viper Strike onto Brax. The action hasn't stopped. Echo Stomp, nope, able to remnant away. So another nice fight as Nyx Assassins holds the line. They lose TC. He's still down for quite a while.
Yeah, I didn't actually see the Ravage myself, but wherever it's going, it's not being too effective. Like, they need to get, like, the Ember Spirit in it. The Ember Spirit had a man fight for a split second with the Templar Assassin after she got swapped out. Templar had, like, what, 300 HP, Brax was full, and Templar almost killed him in, like, 1 second. So he does a lot of damage. I think priority needs to be completely defending this Templar Assassin, not so much the Tide, because the Templar Assassin is just going to be two-shotting anyone if he gets a crit.
still remains, at least on paper, Empire's game. And it certainly helps whenever you've got creeps perpetually banging on the tier 4s, as you took 2 racks a while ago. Do see a lot of new viewers have joined us, so allow me to say welcome to the broadcast, guys. This is game 1 of our second Western best of 3. Empire versus Sneaky Nick's Assassins, who have taken the place of Team Secret in D2L. SNA opening up with a solid win in their first series of their tournament stretch earlier this morning. And the VODs will be available for that if you happen to have missed that. But the storyline right now is that Empire has been ahead for a long time. SNA cut it down very close about 20 minutes ago. It got out of hand again, but SNA just refuses to give up. They were perpetually underfarmed, save for TC. But, you know, I think it's amazing Brax has basically caught TC in terms of farm. I'm not sure if that speaks well of Brax or poorly of TC.
No, just well of Brax. I think TC is doing everything he can this game. So 737, or 737, I should say. Butterfly completed now for Silent. No MKBs up on the side of Nyx, which is really unfortunate, with 2 butterflies being on the side of Empire. I was going to say one other thing, and it just totally slipped my mind. But, all right, well, Elder Titan's going to build into a Halberd. Actually has enough for it if he wants. But Nyx has done a really good job about initiating the fight, but way before Empire comes in. Might not be the case here, though. And it's not the case. They're just going to walk in.
Yep. And TC's got to be careful. There's going to be the Viper Strike. They managed to grab, and now there's the ulti from Whitebeard. They're going to charge back out. Who's the target? It's going to be on to Always Want to Fly. They want to bring him down quickly. Mike eating a ton of damage. Got the Earth Splitter off first, though. And TC has to back off. He's eating way too much damage, and they're not dealing enough. Scandal and Silent with those butterflies feeling relatively untouchable. And they managed to bring down just one, but this is going to be mega creeps. And now they have... Oh, nice Ravage. Got Brax that time. Along with Fluff. That'll probably be your ball game. As they hit TC with one last Viper Strike. Double kill for Scandal. The route is on. There's buybacks aplenty. Viper, in the meantime, pecking away at Whitebeard. And Scandal manages to make a triple kill happen. Good game. Well played. Whitebeard makes it an ultra kill. Come on, Scandal. Dive the fountain. Ah, it's TC. It's too fast. Either way, the Ancient blows. And it's a good game 1 win for Empire, who did not look that great the last time they appeared in D2L Western play. SNA started out well, but, you know, I can't even say they didn't look great. I think, I feel like they backed themselves into a corner with their draft, and their lanes were certainly left a lot to be desired. But then they just played really well to extend this game from what looked like it was going to be over 25-30 minutes into almost a 50-minute game instead.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced on this support spend at all. I think they played it fantastically. I wouldn't be disappointed about this loss at all. There's some losses that are demoralizing, where you come into the next game with your head down, and you like just kind of mentally aren't there anymore. But I'd feel actually, if anything, better, because they're like, well, we should have completely lost, but we actually outplayed them for most of the game. And as a result, we were actually able to hang on to that game for a chance at a victory. So I wouldn't feel bad about going into game 2 at all if I was Sneaky Nick's Assassins.
Knocked over a water bottle. Breaking stuff here in the studio. Good job, me. But no, I think your point is well-founded. I think your point is 100% on point, as a matter of fact. They should, like, this just has that feel, and everybody's been in that game where you jump in, and from the beginning you're like, all right, this is probably a loss. And you think you're just going to get run over, but at some point it just becomes fun because you're doing so well compared to where you thought you would be. And it's like, yeah, it still stinks to lose, but at the very least, you do come out feeling pretty good and ready to go for game number 2. Speaking of, we're ready to go for game number 2 as well. I'm your host, Aaron AC Chambers, broadcasting live from our downtown studio here in San Francisco on this beautiful Sunday. Let's see, what time is it? So I would imagine most of you guys call it Sunday. We've got a lot of action on the way, not just game 2 of this series, but after a short break at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll be kicking off 2 more Eastern Best of 3s as well. So make sure you hit follow here on twitch.tv/D2L if you haven't already. Don't want you to miss a minute of the action, or maybe if you do, head to D2L.gg and find all the information about the tournament, all the VODs, and everything else you might